He said he'll prepare a table before you
Yes.
in the presence of your enemies, which means he has to give you enemies.
Yes.
And he has to let you see your
Wow.
enemies. It's going to be in their presence
Wow.
that you're going to be able to eat. Right? Right in the presence of your enemies, he's going to prepare you a table and anoint your head with oil, and your cup will run over. You will have more than enough.
Yes. This is good.
Right? But that's because you're going through something.
Ba-boom, ba-boom,
Welcome to the pod.
ba-boom, ba-boom, boom, boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Welcome to the pod. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the pod.
Welcome.
I'm FJ Styles.
My name is I Am We the Philosopher.
How you doing?
Are you talking to me this
I'm
time?
talking to you this time.
Yeah. We're doing great.
Yes, we are.
I'm doing good. That was funny. And thank y'all for jumping into the pot.
Thank you, guys.
Helping us stir up this mix. Yeah.
A good mix.
Yeah,
because we know how to cook. Get it?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm well. Can't complain.
Yeah, you look good. You know what I'm saying? It's something about you with them locks. See, you're not even like something about women with them locks, but I only got one.
Yeah.
So it's something about you with them locks that remind me of like
You got me out here.
like
I'm all cheese and all
peaches
hard.
and cream oatmeal or something. I love peaches and cream. I
oatmeal.
love peaches and cream.
But I don't like oatmeal, so that's kind of like
I love peaches and cream.
Well, I guess
oatmeal.
that's
so
that's
you
the
remind
important
me of
part
what
of
I
it.
love.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Thanksgiving.
like a
Pink Starburst. Okay.
dipped in caramel.
Okay, that's something that you like.
Yes.
Okay. That's what we're.
Yes.
Anywho, I'm glad you
I
feel
like
like
caramel
that.
candy and I like pink Starburst.
That just sounds like a cavity. I don't want to do anything bad to you.
Okay, well, you look like a regular woman. Have a great day. Sorry. I didn't know what to say.
I guess I walked into that one, didn't I?
You look beautiful. I love it.
Thank
I love
you.
it.
Thank
I'm
you.
liking your style.
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
feeling your style. I'm feeling
Feeling
your flow.
flow.
Proverbs 20th book. Don't you know?
Hey.
Yeah, I don't got nothing.
Hey.
My name is Mo. I do like the shirt.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm digging that. I'm digging
Thank
your
you.
style.
Thank
I'm
you.
loving this though. Loving it. I'm back to it. I'm mesmerized.
So that fast, I forgot we were here. Hi, everybody.
Oh yeah. Y'all,
You guys.
welcome to my world.
Yes. But anyway, so now that we all doing good and feeling good, let's get into the icebreaker. I got an icebreaker for you.
Okay.
You didn't know that. Sometimes I just be throwing stuff at him and he don't even know.
Ice. Okay.
No. Because we have new followers and then we have recurrent followers. That's it. Okay. And so a lot of people don't know some things about us. And so I just want to know, maybe I know or maybe I don't. Do you have any pet peeves?
Do I have pet peeves? You know what's funny? I might have pet peeves, but I don't think about them. I don't dwell on them. So maybe if they come up, then I'm like, oh, that's a pet peeve. But I don't really
know it offhand.
I don't really notice. Maybe that's one thing you do know is like how people treat the toothpaste. The tube of toothpaste.
The way they treat it?
Yes, the way they treat the tube of toothpaste. If I come in to the bathroom and the tube of toothpaste has toothpaste
around
it somehow, that's disgusting to me. Why isn't it cleaned off? Like, why am I getting your extra toothpaste on my toothbrush? That's disgusting.
Oh, that's the way to look at it. Like the residue of their brush and stuff.
And how come it's flat in the middle, right? But then there's toothpaste at the bottom of the tube. There's toothpaste at the top of the tube. But then there's not toothpaste. There's toothpaste like it's flat in the middle. Like that's annoying, right? But it's just I don't know. I think squeeze from the top. That's just me.
I walked into this one, guys.
I
Right?
squeeze it from the top, and that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I squeeze it from the top, and then the rest of it is just waiting to be squeezed out,
Right.
right? But yeah, it, like when this nasty toothpaste on the brim of the toothpaste. Oh, and when there's hair.
That's funny.
When there's
It's like
hair.
I don't think I have one, but
Yeah. I mean, I don't really dwell on stuff, but when there's hair, like on the sink or around the sink, especially when I'm about to brush my teeth, because I just think about somebody's hair from their head getting in my mouth because it got stuck on my toothpaste because they didn't take the hair up off the sink. You know what I'm saying? So
they're good ones.
I don't know. It's not really, it is what it is. I just wipe it up and just keep going.
Right. Well, you asked me what's mine.
Oh, Fallon, what is your pet peeves? What are your pet peeves, or is your pet peeve? Which I don't know. Do you have more than one?
You are funny. Well, I don't have any pet peeves because I'm happy-go-lucky.
I believe that.
No.
She accepts me, and I'm a big pet peeve.
No,
I guess.
no. I mean, what you said was pretty accurate. Wow. My daughter said her children. I love you guys. You are awesome. Can you tell I meditate, y'all? It's like, no, yeah, I don't, pretty much what you said. The toothpaste, I don't mind the toothpaste being squeezed wherever it's being squeezed, but just as long as you get it and go on about your business. But please clean the top part. It needs to be clean. First of all, how you gonna close the top if it's gonna be residue oozing out of the toothpaste and just sitting there looking like it looks when it's dry and crusty? Anyway.
So that's your pet peeve.
Yeah.
So how come your pet peeve is my pet peeve? How come you can't have your own pet peeve?
Well, see, this is the thing.
You need to go to Walmart and get your own pet peeve.
What?
I got mine. So you should
Go to Walmart and get it?
Is that where you get them from? Pet peeves?
I think that's PetSmart.
Nah, but anyway, so you were saying
I probably have a lot of pet peeves, but we're gonna go and scratch that because I could go on for days.
Yeah, this is funny because yeah, never mind. We'll scratch that and go on.
No, we was gonna get into something. No.
No.
Okay.
Nah. Maybe. No. But no.
You trying to keep the peace?
I don't know, but yeah, we're good.
Okay. Well, then let's get into the topic. You want to get into it?
Yeah, that was funny. Anyway, good.
We're gonna get into it to keep the peace.
I don't know how we gonna edit this part right here.
Are we gonna edit?
Maybe not.
All right. So we're gonna get into it, y'all.
Like do a whole nother.
All right. So we're going to talk about, do trials make you stronger? Ooh, I know. That's a good one, right? All right. So do trials make you stronger, and is it biblical? Is it? Or is it something that we just made up? What you think? We're going to get into that. Do it make you stronger? What you think about that? Do it make you stronger?
What do you think about it?
It feels so weird to ask the question and then jump right into my thoughts. It seems like it should go bounce off of each other. I think trials do make you stronger. I think when you are faced with trials multiple times, you start to I'm not gonna say get used to it, but when you're like faced with it the first time, it's like you have that panic because it's new to you. It's like new territory, and but by the second time, it's like, okay. I mean, you don't want to keep going through it, but by the second time, it's like, all right, this is what it is. It's kind of like, I kind of put it in, when I said that, I thought of having children, right? So you have your first child, and it's like, oh, I'm a new parent. I don't know how to take care of this kid, or we got to move soft, or put them like, you're extra careful with your baby. But then by the second one, it's like, all right, hold the baby, and it's all right. Here's the food. Give her this. Give her that. Hey, Granny, you can give her that bone that you was gonna give her. I know they know how to suck on that bone. No, a little bit too far. Don't give no babies no bones. But by the second time that you're faced with a trial, I think you kind of have some sense of how to deal with it because it happened already. So yeah, I think that is
Okay. And there you have it, folks. Have a great day. Love you.
oh my gosh.
Nah, but I understand what you're saying. And it's like it's like trials teach you. They teach you how to deal with basically even harder trials, right?
Yeah.
For example, I'm always talking about lifting weights. I need to get back into the gym. I can't wait till I can get back into the gym. Y'all saw me lose weight, and then y'all saw me gain a little bit of weight back. But when you lifting weights, right? Lifting weights feels heavy. It feels hard. It feels like a struggle, right? But that amount of weight that you're lifting makes you stronger for the next level of weight,
Right.
right? And if you have a trainer and the trainer's like, lift this, say 175, just say, lift this 175, and you're like, oh, I don't think I can get this 175. And then 2 years later, you're like lifting 225. You're like, man, I remember when 175 was like the worst thing in my life, right? Equated to trials.
Mm-hmm.
That 175 trial was like the worst thing in my life. But because of that 175 trial, it then allows me to deal with and understand that the 225 trial is just a trial, right? If I went through the 225 at the beginning, whoa. I'm saying if you go through the hard thing at the beginning, whoa, but trial is like class. And God's not going to put more trials on you or allow more trials on you, right? Than what you can handle at the time, right? So yeah, I think trials do make you stronger.
Okay, and now speaking of trials make you stronger, is it biblical? Like, is it written in the Bible that we have to go through trials, or does it speak of anything of that sort?
The Bible says in, I believe it's James, the book of James, it talks about the trying of your faith works patience, and then patience experience, and then experience hope, and then hope makes you not ashamed. I don't always understand what every word that's being said, but it does talk about the trials of your faith working patience, right? So yeah, so I guess it is biblical.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I believe, like, also speaking of biblical, I believe that the trials make you stronger, and then it also allow you to have a testimony to have to share with someone else that might go through the same situation that you're going through. So it helps to let people know that they're not alone,
Yeah.
and it causes wisdom. So like what you've been through, and then you can learn for the future, like what not to do, maybe how to like get out of the situation that you were once in,
Right.
to not go there again.
Right.
Could trials just be like financial, like, or could trials be like any source of anything?
Trials are anything that you go through anything that you go through that basically you don't want to go through, right? That you have to go through whatever. I mean, people go through a lot of stuff. You know, some people go through their child dying. Some people go through a heavy sickness of their own. A trial could be, um, I'm riding down the side of the road and I get a flat tire, right? But I'm supposed to get to work. I'm supposed to get to this interview, and I get a flat tire, right?
Mm-hmm.
To us, it's like, oh, a flat tire. You know why it's like that? Because we've been in situations where we've had cars that like was worse than a flat tire, right? So it's like, oh, just a flat tire. But to a person who have never had a flat tire, they're like, oh my gosh, I have a flat tire.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I have a flat tire.
I figured you was gonna do that.
Right? You know what I'm saying? But they're like, oh my gosh, like what's gonna happen? And this, that, and the third, right? I'm gonna be late for the interview. I'm gonna be late because they're never late.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, what's gonna happen? And then when when things when things end up working out for their good, right? Or to them it didn't seem like it was good. You got a flat, your phone died. You couldn't call the guy that you were gonna have the interview with. So you basically missed your interview, right? Again, a year later, you're working somewhere else and you don't care. You're like, man, I remember going through that, right? I remember going through that one time. Or a year later, maybe you didn't even find a job yet.
Right.
But you're like, man, if a year later, after missing an interview, you're still not working, then that flat tire is not your biggest trial that you was going through, right?
Right.
But by that time, you're like, flat tire is nothing, right?
Right.
I'm dealing with so much other stuff, but it's working patience in you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, you know what? I survived
Right.
a whole year. You know what I'm saying? I've made it through 100% of all the things that I've ever been through.
Right.
No matter how bad they seem, I've made it through 100% of all the things I've been through if I'm still here.
Right.
Right? So, but at some point you're like, okay, like your kid gets sick, right? I know I'm going on a whole lot of tangents, but your kid gets sick as a baby. Oh my God, what's going to happen to my child? Right? You take your child to the doctor. The doctor like, oh, it's this, right? Happens again. You're like, should we take him to the doctor? See, now you're questioning. You're not like rushing to the doctor.
Right.
You go to the doctor again. Oh, is this again? The symptom might have seemed a little different, but you're like, it seems like kind of the same thing, but you're learning. The third time you're like, you know what? We're gonna wait. We don't have to take him to the doctor.
Right.
I know the doctor last time prescribed such and such, so maybe we'll just call the doctor in the morning and see what the doctor says. Right.
Right.
The fifth time, because kids always coughs and colds and you know what I mean.
Right.
The fifth time, you're like, you know what? They'd be good. We just got to make sure that they get some rest. Possibly give them something over the counter that we already gave them or whatever. Certain kind of food that we know. Give them some warm tea or something, and they'll be. But it brought patience to you. Now you're no longer just in a rush. You're no longer in the frenzy of like, oh my God.
Right.
Right. So yeah, trials do make you stronger. They bring you patience, and again, it is biblical that the trying of your faith causes you to be patient.
Right. I think trials is necessary because it will, like you said, cause patience, and it will cause you to rely on God more. Because if you don't go through the trials that will make you stronger, then otherwise you will break easily.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think you will break. So that's why trials, everybody, when you think of trials, it's like, oh no, and this and that. Yes, it's an oh no moment. But again, it's necessary so you don't break easy.
Yeah. And I think trials, smaller trials show you that you're not going to break. Right?
Yes.
You're not going to break. You go through something small and it's the biggest thing you've ever gone through.
Right.
You're like, oh, but I didn't break. And I felt like that was the biggest.
Right, yeah.
So when you do go through something big, you're like, I'm not going to break. If I went through that, then I'm going through this. That made me stronger. This is going to make me stronger. I'm not going to break in this situation. I don't have to break
Right.
in this situation. I'm going to be I'm gonna be better, right? And trials make you better,
Right.
right? Trials make you, they make you better. Um, in order to be pure gold, uh, you have to go through, the gold has to go through fire,
Right.
right? Fire is a trial, right? The Bible talks about certain things. So yeah, I can't bring up all the scriptures right now, right? I mean, I probably could, but for the sake of time and but the Bible, you have to go through fire. The gold has to go through fire.
Mm-hmm.
It calls it the refiner's fire, right? To clean off all the impurities,
Right.
right? But the one, when they first find gold, it goes through a small trial. You know what that is? They put it inside, like in like the, if you ever see people like find gold,
Yeah.
they shaking it around.
Mm-hmm.
Just that little shaking, just that little shaking to us, it's like, oh my God, what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
right? You ain't even go through the fire yet.
Right. Wow.
Just the digging up of the comfort of out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Right. The gold was just sitting there chilling in its comfort zone.
Right.
Then somebody comes along and says, I see value, right? I see value in this right here. God says, hey, there's somebody who has value, but you have to go pick that person up out of their comfort zone.
Right.
Getting me out of my comfort zone can feel like a big trial.
Yeah. I was going to say that when you was talking. Yeah.
What in the world? I like to do this.
Right.
Why are you causing me to do that? It's nothing big.
Right.
So that gold is coming out of the comfort zone, right? Then you put it in a little thing and you shaking it around to differentiate the good from the bad, right? So
Right.
you got this whole group of people, whatever, and I'm shaking you, letting the wheat and the tare grow together, right? And then at some point I got to say, okay, this one is valuable.
Right.
This one has something. This one has something. And you're like, man, okay, I'm used to this. And then as I'm getting used to the shaking, now you want to take me out? Oh my gosh, another trial, right?
Right.
So by the time and then you're like, but I'm surviving. Like, oh, but God has my back.
Right.
God knows what he's doing with
Yep.
me, right? And then he's like, fire. You're like, whoa. But guess what? You're like, but he took me out my comfort zone and then became cool. Then I could breathe. Then I separated me from, you know what? It wasn't so bad. Then you go through the fire and you're like, this is really bad. This is really
Right.
bad.
Right.
You don't like it. But then when you come out of that fire, now you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm better. Now I can be used as a ring, a bracelet. I could be used as a
Right.
block of gold.
Right.
I could be used as, I'm valuable. I have value. You know what I'm saying? And now people can look at me and people will desire to be around me and want to be, I have value though that I give to people.
Right.
But I didn't know I had value when I was stuck in that dirt, stuck in that water and nobody, I was comfortable down there. I thought everything was cool
Right.
down there. You know what I'm saying? And just like diamonds, they find coal. The coal's chilling. The coal is chilling, right? But then you got to clean me off and you got to cut me. What you got to cut me for, right?
Right.
Next thing you know, that perfectly cut diamond is sitting in the case by itself in a special store that got security that you got to ring a doorbell to get in. And ain't nobody, everybody ain't just getting in that store. And
Right.
you got that. I'm that valuable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm so set apart now. And I'm glad that I'm set apart
Right.
and valuable.
Right.
Right? Or I could have just been like all the plastic and cubic zirconias and all them other things that's anywhere.
Right.
But I'm special. But I had to go through a special cutting.
Right.
I had to go through a special thing, a special trial. Right? I thank God for the trials that I had to go through and I have to go through. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I'm special. You know what I'm saying? It pulls out the anointing, right? Now you got me preaching. I ain't trying to preach, but it definitely pulls out the anointing.
Right.
Right. Do you have something to say?
You was just talking
Because
as you
I'm
were
ready, I'm
saying,
going.
as you were talking about the trial. Like Job came to mind, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many people in the Bible that we can pick from?
Yeah.
The lady who had the issue of blood, Mary Magdalene, like all of those people had their trials, right? We can go from all kinds of trials, like in today's world, and what we go through compared to what they go through, but they had a purpose.
Yeah.
and it's so greater than what we can even fathom. Like
Yeah.
it's so much greater. So like if you go through a trial, believe that it's for a reason, it's for a purpose.
Yeah.
And if you're going through it, just know that God has something great for you. You just got to keep pressing. You got to keep holding on,
Yeah.
and just believe it. Just
Yeah.
know, and just say, okay, God, I trust you to take me to wherever you're trying to take me.
Right.
Okay. But you also just got to leave it to God and believe that God has something greater for you, and not try to take it on yourself. Now, we've been through so many situations,
Right.
from not having money to not having cars, from health scares to all kinds of stuff, even to this day. But it was always to the point where we was like, you know what? God has us because he had us before.
Right.
And I was going back to earlier because I had a brain fart earlier, but going back to earlier, knowing that you went through something the first time, not knowing where your food was coming from or how your bills was getting paid, to the second time, it was like, okay, still, but it's like, all right, I know you came through the first time.
Yeah.
Second time, you came through again.
Won't
the
he
second
do it?
time, right? The third time or fourth time is like, okay,
Won't he will?
Fallon or whoever out there, you.
Yeah.
It's like, didn't I come through for you those times?
Right.
Like, are you really serious right now? You're still looking for something on the outside,
Right.
and not looking to who took care of you.
Right.
I gave you a sign. It wasn't when you wanted it,
Lord, give me a sign.
because
My
I
bad.
wanted you to be patiently waiting on me.
Right.
Like, don't push or put a time limit on when God's supposed to work for you,
Preach.
because it's for you.
Preach.
So you just got to give it to God. Those trials is for a reason.
Yeah.
And do not be scared to share your testimony with whoever needs to hear it, because it's very important for you to share. For me, talking about the testimony, it's important for me to share it because I was once there. I want you to know that you too will survive it. You just got to keep holding on. Keep praying, keep fasting. And if you're not doing those things, start doing those things. But trials are to make you stronger.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
is. I'm just,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. And like you said, you go through the things and you feel like you can't go through it.
Yeah.
But then after a while, you're like, oh, okay.
That's what I was afraid
Yeah,
of.
yeah, that's what I was afraid
Yeah,
of.
that's what had
Yeah.
me stressing.
Yeah.
My hair falling out, me gaining weight or losing weight.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's small to God.
It's like a person running, right? You're running and you like, I could never run a marathon. Okay, don't run a marathon then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you do? Run down the block. You know what I'm saying? Run down the block.
Right.
You're like, oh, I definitely couldn't run a marathon because I'm so tired. That trial was so, oh my gosh.
Right.
Run down the block again. You're like, oh. The next thing you know, running down the block trial is so easy.
Yep.
You're like, oh, wait, that feeling that I felt,
Right.
I don't feel that no more.
Mm-hmm.
I need that
Mm-hmm.
to feel like I'm doing something. Okay, well, run 2 blocks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, well, 2 blocks ain't gonna run. All right, well, run a half a mile. Run a mile. Right? Next thing you know, you're like, hey,
Yep.
hey everybody, I'm running 3 miles today.
Mhm.
I'm running 7 miles today.
Yep.
Right? Just start. Walk.
Yep.
Just walk around for a lap. Yeah, I'm so tired. Okay. But as you keep going and going, then you're like, okay, yeah, this is making me better.
Yes.
I can.
Yep.
Next thing you know, you're like, hey everybody, I'm gonna run the marathon. You gonna run a marathon? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I started off with the heavy trial that I thought was heavy, but now I can do anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And think about you talked about the woman with the issue of blood. You talked about Job. It was so many things that was coming
Yeah.
up my mind. I thought you was gonna go on my man Job. But I was like, okay, go ahead. But the woman with the issue of blood, right? So what was it? Sunday. I think it was yesterday morning. We were watching Pastor Madu,
Oh yeah.
right? Pastor Robert Madu.
Yes.
At Social Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah. I like, shout out to Social Dallas.
Awesome.
Pastor Robert Madu. and his lovely wife. They are awesome young people.
Yes.
They got a great church. Um, I only see it online, so I can't really tell you everything, But anyway, he was talking about the woman with the issue of blood.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about the woman with the issue of blood, and he said she stopped Jesus, right?
Yeah.
She stopped Jesus on his way to go see about someone else,
Mm-hmm.
right? Jesus is about to go and see about a girl whose father says, "Can you come heal my daughter?"
Mm-hmm.
Right? Can you come heal my daughter? And um in the midst of her uh stopping him, the woman with the issue of blood, he stops. He's asking questions. The guy is probably becoming impatient
Right.
at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I asked, could you heal my daughter? My daughter is at the point of death, and you're stopping, asking questions like, who touched me? What in the world? What do you mean, who touched you? It's a big crowd of people, and you talk about who touched me. Bro, can you come heal my daughter? Right?
Mm-hmm.
What Pastor Weatherspoon used to say, it's 11:59:59.
Yeah.
Right? It's 11:59:59. Shout out Pastor Brian Weatherspoon.
Shout
What's
out.
up, my man? Yeah. Pastor Brian and Krista Weatherspoon, Tabernacle Harvest Church. I'm shouting out everybody church. Tabernacle Harvest Church out in Pottstown. Y'all need to
Pottstown.
visit them. But he used to say it's 11:59:59.
Right.
Right? But at some point the man is like, hey God, look, it's 12:15.
Mm-hmm.
You asking questions. I don't have time for questions. But the amazing thing is he asked for a healing, as Pastor Madu said. But he got a resurrection. He got something even greater.
Right.
Right? He got to see even greater power. He didn't know that trial that he was going through was going to increase his faith even more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I believe that you're the healer. That's why I came to you.
Right.
Just like Mary Magdalene, not Mary Magdalene. Just like Mary and Martha,
Mm-hmm.
right? We believe you're the healer. That's why we said, hey, send for Jesus because Lazarus is dying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, send for Jesus because my daughter is dying. Right?
Right.
Jesus like, I got you. I'm the resurrection. I'm the resurrection and the life. I am life. You know what I'm saying? I am the way, the truth, and the life. That's what I am.
Ooh.
I'm the giver of life.
Yes.
Right? Before Abraham was, I am. Right? I am that I am.
Yes.
So whatever you need me to be, I am.
Hallelujah.
So I'm not just a healer.
Mm.
Right? So he gets to the house and the girl's dead. And then he raises the girl from the dead. And it's like, whoa. Oh.
Talk about trials.
You know? Yeah, what a trial. You know what I'm
Oh,
sure
my
everybody in
gosh.
there crying. They probably like, man, if Jesus would have just got here in time, because I saw Jesus heal the man over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I saw when the guy said, Lord, Jesus, have mercy on me. And he healed the man from blindness. Right? I saw the other guy who was sitting at the pool and he just put him in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
I was there.
Yes.
When we were all hungry, sitting in the multitude, and he fed, look, I'm telling you, it was about 5,000 of us dudes. We got together and we brought our families, right? So I don't know how many people was out there. It might have been 15, 20,000 people, and he fed all of us. I was there, so I know he can heal this little girl.
My goodness.
But what is he doing? He asking questions about who touched me. Right?
Right.
Oh my gosh, I'm going through the worst thing in my life. Oh, this is the greatest thing I ever experienced. He raised my daughter from the dead. What?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this man, he can speak to the winds and the waves.
Woo.
He can feed 5,000 people. He can raise a girl from the dead.
Mm.
Man, didn't I write a song about that?
Yes. I
Man.
love that song.
I need to sing that song. I need to sing that more.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, but yeah. Tell me how could you care about me? But the thing is, he does.
Yes.
He does.
Yes.
I heard that you fed 5,000 souls. I heard that you made a woman whole. They tell me you walked across the sea, oh, like Peter did. But how could you care about me when you know my every thought? You know my every way. You hear my every word, even when I don't pray. And every mistake I make, if it's my life you see, tell me how. Tell me how could you care about me? That's the thing. If he can do that for all those people, he
Bless
cares
you.
about you. So all the trials that you're going through are to make you stronger, right? Trials get you to the place that you're supposed to be. I wanted to do this, and I wanted to do that, and I bought some equipment for this, and I bought this for that, and I found myself not being able to do this, and this didn't work out here, and that didn't. But it pushed me to the place of where we are now, right? And this is not the end, but it pushed me to the place of where we are now because this is purpose that we have.
Right.
What?
Right.
And he has a purpose, and he has a reason why he has us going through anything that we go through, right? And that thing, once the thing is over, you're like, oh, right? And I'm at the point of like, oh. And I haven't even seen the yet.
Right.
But I know the
is coming.
It's coming.
Yes, we are at the
saying?
door.
We're right there.
We're
like,
at the door.
And the people are going to see the
Yes.
right along with us.
Yes.
Like, oh, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. It's for the glory of God.
Yes.
Right? But he'll put his glory on you. Right? He said he'll prepare a table before you
Yes.
in the presence of your enemies, which means he has to give you enemies.
Yes.
And he has to let you see your enemies. It's going to be in their presence.
Wow.
That you're going to be able to eat. Right? Right in the presence of your enemies. He's going to prepare you a table and anoint your head with oil, and your cup will run over. You will have more than enough.
Yes. This is good.
Right? But that's because you're going through something.
Yes.
Right? You're going to go through something. You're going to go through hate. You're going to go through trials. You're going to go through good times, bad times. But they're all to make you...
Guess who did? Guess who went through all of that? Jesus. Ooh.
Look at that.
Ooh, no greater trial for me.
Look at that.
He did that for me.
Right.
God loved us that much.
Look at that.
He loved us that much.
Right.
That trial. Oh, my goodness.
But he's sitting on the right hand of the
Yes.
Father. Right? Because of the trial. Because of the obedience in the trial.
Yes.
Right? You're going to go through stuff.
You're going to go through it.
You're going to go through stuff. But does it make you stronger?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Is it going to make you better? Absolutely going to make you better. Do we like it? Heck no. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, oh, love the trial.
Yes.
Nah, but at some point you'll appreciate.
Yes.
You'll appreciate the trial. Right? You'll appreciate the thing that you had to go through. You're like, oh, that's why I had to go through it. Right? And sometimes, even if you don't see why you had to go through it, sometimes it's for somebody else's good. Right? It's not even always for you. Right? But all things are going to work together for the good. Right? But it's maybe not for your blessing or whatever, but you're like, man, if I didn't get that flat tire, I wouldn't have saw that dude on the side of the road who helped me with the flat tire. And I'm like, man, Jesus sent you. And he started breaking down of how he didn't believe in Jesus. And I'm like, well, I prayed to Jesus. I'm just saying this stuff happens. Next thing you know, this guy is in church, and now there's people following him to Christ because you got a flat tire.
Right.
All for the glory of God. Right? You didn't get the job. but somebody got saved because you got a flat tire.
Right.
And now God is glorified, right? And now 100 people got saved because of his testimony.
Yes.
Whatever it is.
Yes.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What? Things work out like that.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens like that.
Yep.
Right? And there's people that who don't believe right now. But things work out right now. And you're going to believe at some point. They are.
Yes.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not for us to just push no. You're going to go through enough and things are going to, this happened and that happened and that happened. And God he orchestrates everything.
Yes.
He knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does.
Right? It's all for his glory.
All for his glory.
All for his glory.
Yes. And when speaking of all for his glory, you might be going through something right now as we speak. And I just want you to just be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. But turn it over to God.
Yeah.
He has you.
Yeah.
He wants you to want him. Let him take over. Stop trying to do it all on your own. Stop trying to take on 101 things. Turn it over to the Lord. He has you where he wants you. You are right where you need to be. Okay? You got this. It's just to make you stronger.
Man, I didn't know that it was going to be like this, but I felt something from this.
Yeah.
I'm going to look back again. I keep saying that, but I'm going to look back at this like, wow. And I'm hoping that this reaches people. Listen, y'all, share this podcast. Share this podcast. Like this podcast. Comment on this podcast. Hit the notification bell for this podcast.
Yes.
Let it blow up. We're looking for. I'm looking for 1,000 subscribers.
1,000. We speaking
by
it, guys.
December 31st.
Help us reach that.
That's what I'm looking for. But God can do exceeding abundantly
Yes,
above
he can.
all. Exceedingly abundant above all that we can ask or think.
Yes.
So my 1,000 can be his 1 million.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not limiting God, but share this podcast with your friends. Watch it. Watch it all the way through, y'all. Watch it all the way through. I know I'm saying this at the end, but watch it all the way through so that you may get something out of it. You may be able to share just a little snippet with somebody else.
Yes.
All right. Follow us on IG at the P.O.T.T podcast. Right. Follow FJ
Styles at I am FJ Styles. That's on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook.
And you can follow I am the Philosopher if you choose to.
He's so modest.
On Instagram, Facebook.
This guy is dope. Follow.
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube.
He's everywhere.
I am the Philosopher everywhere. Yeah.
Make sure you praise your way through the tough times. I'm telling you, it's so much you can get from praising. The enemy wants to keep you down and he wants to keep you in this level. But no, the devil is a liar. Praise your way through it. Praise your way through it.
Sapp say, praise will confuse the enemy.
Yes, amen. It's facts in that. It's truth.
Praise will confuse the enemy.
We only talking from experience.
So I
listen.
started singing.
Yes.
I started clapping. I started dancing. People were laughing.
I ain't gonna hurt y'all.
They knew my problems.
We love y'all.
Knew my pain.
Peace.
But I knew God would take them away. Hey, it's the pot.
Power of the tongue.
Peace and blessings, y'all.
Peace.
Love you.
Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to
like,
comment,
subscribe, share everything. You know what I'm saying? We're getting this together. But thank you.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Subscribe.
Follow us. The number one podcast.
Number one. Speak it.
The Pot.
Power of the tongue.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.